And we are live. Happy Turtle Tuesday, everybody.
We are back.
We
Hello.
we are back. Back like, it was just a week ago. you know.
I know.
But like it's like, hey, we're back on like, regular like schedule. It's like kind of weird. Um, you know, I will be honest. I mean, as much as I love doing this for you guys, there was parts of me I was like, oh, you know what? I don't have to get anything ready on Tuesday night. But
And
at the same time, I
part
was
of
missing it too.
part of me was like, do I call in sick or what? But I can't call in sick to this.
No, no, no. We got some exciting action figure news this week, and including one that hasn't been confirmed yet. But before we go on, this week on the podcast, I'm going to have a pretty special guest that you've heard every week on the news portion. We're gonna Mike will be on the entire podcast uh, this week as we are going to be talking about our favorites for 2022 Ninja Turtle wise. So, and the fun part is I get to rant about how I hate the Game Awards. So,
I was gonna say I cannot wait to hear how you edited that. So
the only parts that's going to be there is just like the Game Awards like rants, just because I've always like wanted a platform to rant about the Game Awards, but I've never had like a, a reason
so
to.
you picked the Turtle Recall podcast to be the one
The
to be
one
where you would finally rank about it.
exactly, because I knew that there was going to be a year where two Ninja Turtle games were going to be released.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah, and then and I knew one of them was going to be nominated for that fake award thing show that they
Got it.
have.
Well,
What?
you played your cards well.
Hey. I was like, sometimes when you gotta like hunt like a gazelle and everything,
Mm,
hide in the grass. I finally got to pounce. Uh,
got it.
what is going on this week on Ninja Turtle Power Hour?
So this week we are diving back into the IDW comics where we talk about what is going on in the Armageddon game. So this week we specifically covered issues 135 from the main book, and then as well as the Armageddon game, The Alliance, issues 2 and issues 3. So kind of spoiler for that episode since that just dropped today, but kind of a mid point. We're almost in the middle of this event, and it still feels like things are kind of ramping up. They're not bad issues, but
Right.
check out the full podcast to hear what we were talking about there.
Gotcha. I will say, like, I mean, as much as I love comics and everything, I will say that there are like just a lot of like comics, not just Ninja Turtles, but just in general,
Mm.
where it just feels like is like all it's doing is just a setup, and but like you have like it takes like three or four issues for the setup to go through, but the problem is
Mm.
like three or four issues takes like a quarter of the year, so
Yeah, it just for some reason I can't like again I talk about it in the episode, but there's something about like these issues like they don't feel like they justify themselves to me yet.
oh
Um, because like one, they're still building up to something, and then two, they're kind of they're kind of just treading ground, and a lot of these kind of like B stories.
right,
Um, these two issues in particular have like a beginning story and then like an A story and a B story,
right,
or not an A story. It feels like there's two side stories in one issue,
gotcha,
and like one issue is about Casey, and so you have kind of him talking about what's been going on, and then he meets Karai at the end of the issue, and then the next issue is about Alapex
yeah.
and Angel, nobody, kind of doing their thing, and then they meet Karai at the end, and it's like both of these could have been in one issue.
Yeah. And that's my other pet peeve about comics is like really nothing exciting happens until the last two pages, because the last two pages is there to sell the next issue for you. Like, but that's just like that. Like I said, this is just not Ninja Turtles. This is like comics in general, and like, manga. Like seriously,
Mm.
like Japanese manga is like, it is like you have 17 pages where they just kind of like sit around and talk to each other, or there's a big splash page of like someone punching someone, and then you get to the last page, and then it's like, oh, here's some important story, and it's kind of like, okay, what
Mm.
was these other pages for? Just fill
Yeah.
the book. But yeah, but that's the end of that rant. Here we go, bonus rant for you guys. But let's go ahead and get started with this week. Before we actually get started with like the big news items and everything, I do. Mike and I, we want to talk about this because Mike actually put this in my attention, and I started like looking into it. But Tatsu.
Oh,
Neck
you wanted to open them with this
yeah,
one?
yeah. We're opening with this one. Yeah, because I have no images of it, because like there's
Okay.
it's
Let
not
me.
it's not like news. It's just like kind of like a
Mm.
rumor kind of at this point.
All
I
right.
mean,
All right.
like
So can I frame it? Can I
yeah,
frame it?
yeah.
Okay.
Frame it, please.
Okay. So for the NECA movie toy line, there's been kind of one big glaring omission from the 1990 movie wave, and that is Tatsu.
Charles Pennington. Sorry, go
The
ahead.
Chief Stearns.
Chief Stearns.
Um,
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go. You can
and
say who it is.
so the missing guy is Tatsu. Shredder's right hand man, like ninja
Yeah.
vanish.
Right.
Um, and so NECA for years has been kind of saying that that they can't make one because the original actor Toshishiro Obata um, has declined, for various reasons. They've said that they can't get in touch with him. One of the latest things I heard that he is declining for like religious reasons, because that's kind of immortalizing him in plastic, and that's just kind of against what he does, which makes sense. All of these are
Yeah.
valid reasons, because if he just doesn't want to do it, then he doesn't want to do it, and
Right.
fans should really stop pestering him.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
And I've
so
heard stories that fans are actually like lining up on his dojo trying to get him to change his mind. I mean, I've
yeah,
been hearing these around.
because him and his son teach martial arts here in Los Angeles, so like he's relatively accessible, but he just didn't want to be, he just didn't want that for himself, and so like again, totally valid. Um, and so this morning, there was a Canadian Turtles fan page posted like a screenshot with some stuff scribbled out, um, with a message from his son saying that they had met with a toy company and that a Tatsu figure will be coming soon. Now, again, put your speculation hat on, heavy grain of salt.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I did I I did some research, and I was able to confirm that like the screenshot matches the name of his son, and his son is also on Facebook. It was in a group that I didn't have access to, so I couldn't verify that it's actually like a real group, or a real group that he is in. But at least at least he has a son that with the same name and the
yeah,
same profile picture,
right.
and that lives in Los Angeles. So it's pretty much all I can confirm. Um,
Right. I mean, to be honest, like, there's no official wording on this.
mm,
It's very speculation. There like, there's could be so many factors. Like, one, maybe he didn't do it and it's just some other guy with that name. I mean, there's so many things. But like, once we get official word, we'll dive into it
mm,
more. But if it is true, it's this would be really cool. Also, if it's true,
yeah.
curse on you, people who just kind of want to you know uh take away NECA's thunder for for the reveal. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, because one thing like that kind of came up in the discussion this morning when I was talking to people about it was, um, one guy was kind of saying on my side like, I don't think this would happen. He said so for religious reasons, and I was like, well, I mean, Obata is pretty old
Yeah.
now. He doesn't speak English very well.
No, he doesn't.
His or at all. I can't remember one of the two.
When he
But
did the Ninja
he,
Turtles movie, he did not know English. That's the only because
yeah,
he his voice was dubbed over. That's why his voice was dubbed over because he knew no English. Now, I mean, that was 30 years ago. I don't know
yeah,
now if he like I mean he's been just I mean at the same time one of my good friends' mother has been in this country for over 40 years now and she still can't speak English.
yeah. And so what I was saying was that like maybe his son is in charge of his estate now,
Uh-huh.
and has that power of attorney to delegate his license rights to. And so maybe, and his son doesn't have the same religious hangups that his dad does. And so that might, and again, I'm just speculating here, and that's
Hmm.
the only way that I can see around all of this. If he's been saying no, but like, his son has that power now to, license his likeness, that makes sense to me. But again, not saying that that is what is happening, but it's something I want to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
So just a big tentative, you know, stamp on this.
Right,
But
right,
it
yeah.
was, but it was big enough and worth mentioning,
It's big
for
enough
me.
to be worth mentioning. I mean, obviously we want to make sure that we inform you guys as much as we can. And but like this is just a rumor.
Mm,
there is nothing to back up the statement. I'm just saying this right now. But but we will keep an eye on it, and once we get official word, we'll definitely talk about it. But to be honest, we probably won't be bringing this back up until probably if this does truly happen, we probably won't be able to talk about it until July or sometime later this summer. So don't expect like
yeah,
follow ups in the next few weeks.
yeah, because I mean, like I said, for years, like the statement had kind of been the same thing, like, "Oh, we can't do it. Oh, we can't do it," and that was kind of it. Like there was no reason to keep following up on this because that's what the statement was.
Right.
So this is kind of one of those things that like we can't, like, if you see a sculpt out there, you got to still be diligent because a lot of people have done fan sculpts, and 3D
Right.
renders are pretty easy to make nowadays.
Yes. Yes.
And so unless NECA says something specifically, then I I would hold off on saying like, oh, it's true 100%. Like we got to wait for NECA to say something because
Yeah.
like again, like this may or may not have been his son in this post saying this. He doesn't name what toy company it is. We all know NECA's the one making, movie line, but again,
Hey.
we need to kind of we need to follow up on all of this, and so
Hey, it could be a new Ninja Elite series from Playmates.
yeah, and
Hey, they have two movie figures already.
so yeah, so we just need to, like I said, we just need to wait for NECA to officially say something about this, and that's it. That's kind of
Yep, that's
it.
it. That's it. So, so get into stuff that is definitely 100% news. Uh, the first thing I want to talk about is probably what Mike has probably already pre-ordered, and that is the pre-orders for the Raph and Leo Nintendoroid. I hope I said it right. Uh,
You never do.
I never do. I try not to say Nintendo this time.
It's true. You didn't say Nintendoid.
Yeah.
I think Jason and I talked about this earlier. What was it? It was sometime last
It
year.
was sometime last year,
I think it
yeah.
was. I think it was during like Wonder Hobby in Japan or China. I can't remember where it was.
Right, right.
But good.
It was during one of the Tokyo toy fairs.
Yeah, and so Wonder Hobby specifically is Good Smile Company's thing, and there was an image for like um, kind of a coming soon of Nendoroid Ninja Turtles, and Jason and I like flipped out over it,
Yeah.
and then but it was only in Japanese. There wasn't an English follow up to that,
Right.
and so for months, Jason and I were like, "Did we get it wrong?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Did we miss something?" And then so Vindication came when at New York Comic Con they finally like revealed that these were coming.
Right.
Um, and so here, fast forward to today, the first two are up for pre-order right now. Leo and Raph, you can see they're there on the screen. They're in the style guide um, template,
Right.
so kind of what you see on the modern style guide. So the color, it's a very light green.
Very bright
Um,
green, yes.
yeah, very bright green, very kind of like just kind of not even stylized faces, but kind of a dead face. you
Right.
know, uh,
Yeah.
if you look at anything that like the Nick TMNT social team has put out, it's got these faces on it.
Right, right.
Um,
So,
so
the
so very standard turtles.
right, very standard turtles, and to have like that Nintendoroid bodies. One day, I'm gonna learn how to say this thing. This
Mm-hmm.
thing, um, like with that chibi body and everything. That Mike has pointed out that we could actually like switch out the heads with other uh, figures from the series, like including my Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. But these figures, they do so like the eyes and the mouths can like interchange with each other and eat. Both Leo and Raph come with three different smiles. Now,
Mm-hmm.
something I can tell you, Raph, they only have two of his smiles pictured, and those two smiles are the same two smiles that Leo comes with. Leo also comes with a tongue like that's licking his lips, and that is not shown in Raph. I don't know if Raph has a third unique smile that you can interchange with the other turtles, or if all the turtles are going to come with these three smiles, because definitely all both these turtles come with two of the same smiles.
Yeah, and so with these, like the heads are very similar to how like the Turtles in Disguise figures are from NECA,
Right.
where you can kind of mix and match everything. Um, and so these are cute. They're if you're familiar with Nendoroids, if you're not familiar with Nendoroids, think of like Funko Pops but articulated and a lot better quality.
Yeah.
And that's basically a Nendoroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's tons of characters in Nendoroids, not as many as in Funko Pops, but these are I collect a lot of them. Um, and so with these ones, the price is $48.99 each,
Uh huh.
which does sound expensive, but that's actually really cheap for Nendoroids. That's kind of the base Nendoroid price.
Yeah, like
Um,
I actually after the price was revealed, I had to ask my wife how much she bought the my link for me, and she she told me she couldn't remember, but it's also been like, oh
mm,
gosh, like it was before we had kids. That's how.
yeah.
So, but at the same time, she also bought it at a store, and I'm pretty like no, I'm pretty sure that they were probably had it on sale or at least on clearance or something like that.
Well, Nendoroids don't really go on clearance
Hmm.
because they're imports.
Hmm.
But they do occasionally go on sale, and these are going to be wide release ones, so they'll be very easy to get.
Right.
They're up for pre-order right now on all the major toy sites.
Yep.
Big Bad, Big Bad, Entertainment Earth. My
No,
local store will probably get them.
yeah.
Toy Arena.
It's not on
So,
Entertainment Earth yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll be
oh, it's
there.
not.
But
Oh,
no, uh, but I'm pretty sure it'll be there by the end of the week. That's the only reason why
mm,
like there's not a pre-order link in this in the description today for these because it's not on Entertainment Earth. And full disclosure, we get affiliate. We get affiliate with the Entertainment Earth. So if you're wondering why we put a link for Entertainment Earth or why I push it so hard, it's because of that. We got to keep the lights on, guys.
I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these I mean these are cool. I just I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like, I collect a lot of Nendoroid,
Yeah.
and I do really like these, but for some reason, I'm not feeling it. I haven't pulled the trigger on these yet. I don't know if I'm gonna because they're in the style guide, and I don't particularly care for the style guide.
I'm glad you've mentioned that because I'm also not a style guide person. That's why whenever like NECA keeps re-releasing the turtles and they're in the style guide colors, I don't go and get them.
Mm,
I don't have like the newer bodies in the style guide. I picked that up like twice at my Target, and I was like, no, I really don't want these. I like the darker
yeah.
colors, and also like when the two packs like started coming out. I had a chance to get at least to pick up a few of them, and I was like, you know what, no, yeah,
Mm.
I'm also not a like I don't mind style guide, but um, I'm not like, oh, style guide, I gotta get those colors.
Yeah, like I'm not that big of a completionist. Like
Yeah,
I have to have the four turtles.
right.
And so I'll do that. And like I think yeah, like I can't do every turtle line. And so like I've given up on Super 7. I'm pretty much done with the movie line. Um I don't need these ones. As much as like as cool as these are, like I can't get into that.
I
Now, having said that, Good Smile Company also has another figure toy line called Figma.
I like
Now,
Figma a lot.
if we got Ninja Turtle Figma,
I'm gonna be
I
honest. If we
wouldn't
got Ninja
care.
Turtle, yeah, if we got Ninja
I
Turtle
would
Figma,
not
I would be
care.
pre-ordering that. I mean, I still hands down my favorite figures are the Fig Arts from Bandai. Those are
Mm,
definitely like my favorite. But I mean, I maybe because I'm too much of an anime fan, I prefer Eastern figures than Western figures, and that's why I can gladly give my money
mm,
to those than the countless of the Western figures that we've been getting. That's just me personally, but speaking of Western figures and Turtle completes, uh, last week we talked about the Playmate reshoes, and the big thing was that for the giant turtles, Target the case only had three, and there was a big omission, which was Mikey, which uh several of you guys have like reached out to me and tried to convince me because you guys were so convinced that Mikey was going to come in the second wave with Rocksteady and Bebop, and I mean, I
mm,
felt like the Dream Crusher and just be like, that don't hold your breath. That's not gonna happen. Like the turtles are easy to make because you just need one mold, and we see it's one mold. Roxy and Bebop, those are two unique molds. Like even if they had like the original molds for them, that's still like more money to spend than the turtles. But we have finally found out where Mikey is, and this is a from the back of the Toy Collector magazine. Um, the Mikey is a Walmart exclusive, which is weird. I'm just gonna say this right now. Like, uh,
yeah, that is weird and unfortunate.
yeah, like that. Like, I mean, because even Anna and I we were talking about this, and we're kind of like, wait, like Mikey, not like a color variation of Mikey. Like what? Like
Mm,
why would you put like one of the main characters as a store exclusive? Because
yeah.
that's a really odd decision. And usually with store exclusives, that it just means like that store paid enough money to get something. But at the same time, like why did Playmates like agree to this? I mean, because like they could have easily. I mean, honestly, Roxanne and Bebop being Walmart exclusives would have made more sense to me than one of the permanent like member,
Mm.
like because most people when they buy the turtles, they want to buy all four. I mean,
Yeah, I literally just said that.
yeah, yeah, you literally just said that. Like people want to buy all four, and it's just weird that like the fourth one you have to go to another store to find them, especially when one store is like notoriously like hard to find. Like, because I mean, it was 2 years ago when the original Turtles were re-released at Walmart, and those were Walmart exclusives. Well, there were now you can get them in online fan channels, but at that time it was only at Walmart, and I could tell you that like three three out of the five Walmarts I regularly go to had them, and like the one that was near
Mm.
my house did not have the original like reissue. So I'm hoping this is not going to be the same situation with this giant turtle. I also want to make note that not only that's a Walmart exclusive, but the pizza launching power turtles are also Walmart exclusives, which I don't mind a whole wave is a store exclusive because that makes more sense to me. I will say, Donnie's missing from this advertisement page. I'm just hoping like parts of me. I'm crossing my fingers. Really, I'm just hoping that they just couldn't fit that figure in the advertisement. But knowing Playmates, I could see that we're missing a turtle, and that's gonna be so unfortunate if we're missing a turtle because it's so hard.
Mm.
Like I hate when one of the three is missing because if it's just one, I'm okay with because if it's just one of the turtle in the line, I'm like okay, that's to represent this. If it's two, it's like okay, it's unfortunate, but like at least like they're a pair. But when it's three and the third one's out, it is kind of like oh, that's that's part of the reason why I never wanted the the Savage Dragon turtles. I forget what the
Mm.
Gimli ones. That's what I'm talking. The Gimli ones
Yeah.
because they were missing one. Um, and it drove me crazy as a kid, and like to this day I know like I seen the prototype of the other one, but like um
Mm.
so you got anything to say about this, Mike? I feel like I'm
I haven't jumped into these just yet.
uh
I mean, you and I talking about the giant turtles last week. Um, I kind of got uninterested in them, and then seeing the comparison picture you posted, and
right,
then seeing that like the legs are hollow, um, really
turned you
kind of
off.
turned me off on them.
Yeah,
I mean, if I see them, I don't know. It'll probably depend on how I feel that day. Just the novelty of them, but also like again, I want to get all four of them. Like I don't collect any single turtle.
right.
So I don't want to like if I can't get all four at once or relatively within a time frame, I usually don't want to do it. And so having to go to Walmart for Mikey, like I just went to my local Walmart and their toy section is atrocious.
Oh yeah.
It's one aisle now. It doesn't even have like two sides of the aisle. It's
Oh wow.
literally it's
I've been
literally
to a few of
one
those.
wall.
I've been to a few WalMarts where I've never been one where it's just one aisle, but but I've seen like where it's like two huge aisles, and it literally is one
Mm,
aisle is like uh all of the boy stuff and the Legos and everything, and the
mm.
other aisle is the girl stuff with the preschool stuff, and it's just
And so
like
and so and so that's and so that's how my Walmart is. But like the girls aisle has two sides of it.
uh-huh.
But then when you get to the boys aisle, it's one or it's not even like one full side
Uh,
because it's the same side with like all the Lego. The Lego's locked up in there now,
right.
and then the other side is bikes.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh man. So it's actually sharing. Okay, yours is like sharing with the bikes and everything. And like no, I understand with with those aisles because Lego takes a big chunk of that because Lego's the best selling toy like ever. So like and that is like the unfortunate is like the same people who buy Lego are the same people who buy action figures. So like they can
Mm-hmm.
gladly take up like and then also like some of them like the one I go to, like they try to fit in everything, so you have like you'll have like just like a single peg of Marvel Legends, and it's like surrounded by like so many other things. It's so easy to get lost that you miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just and so yeah, so it's just want to get into this if I can't get them all at once. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not feeling a lot of the vintage reissues. Um, I already have a set of, classic turtles. I don't need those again.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like the paint jobs on the villain set right now. So like Bebop and Rocksteady are missing paint apps.
Yeah,
Um,
they are. I don't know
you
because like
know,
they've released Bebop and Rocksteady quite a few times in the past like
mm,
5 years. I don't know why these Bebop and Rocksteady like are the worst looking ones other than price, just to make it
yeah,
cheaper. Oh, like I mean, not the cost. The cost is more expensive because, like 2 years ago, you could have bought
mm,
Bebop Rocksteady for like nine to $10. Now it's like 12. So,
yeah,
like, I mean, but uh, the only good thing I will say about these new villains that are showing up at Target is that it's the original card back. Like, well, I meant the card art, and not the actual like back itself. But like, I do like that because it has like that unique, like, oh hey, this is Bebop, and has like the cool art that went with it, or like Rocksteady, because like
mm,
the past few re-releases is just been this generic card back that you could just put any figure in front of, and hey, that's it. Like like because that's the cheaper way to do it.
yeah. And so it's just kind of like I'm just not feeling it.
I
So,
I understand. I know you and I are different with the retro re-releases, and because I get more excited about it because these are the figures I get more excited for. But I understand where you're coming from, as well, and also and like and your all your points are very valid on like especially because, especially with these giant turtles, they're trying to pass them off as like, oh hey, these are exactly like, I mean the freaking figures say exactly like the ones released back in 1989, and like
mm,
I posted that comparison photo, and like there's a huge there, I mean literally there's a huge difference, and like and the funny thing is
yeah,
that so Raph and Donnie's weapons are smaller in the new one. Leo's sword is longer for some reason. I don't know why. Um, it's just like weird. But yeah. But uh, as I say all this, I am planning to get all the giant turtles, and I want to get those pizza pot tossing turtles because I never got those. As a kid, the villains I got all like the re-releases. I don't think I'm going to go get any of those. I might pick up Baxter, and I might pick up Krang. Krang only because
mm,
that's Anna's favorite. Baxter is because my my loose Baxter is missing his wings, and I have one that's carded. So I'm kind of like whenever I have a carded figure, I have a hard time opening it. So I would like to just have a second one just to so I can open it.
that makes sense.
Yep. Um. So, uh, another thing that kind of got revealed, and this is actually what Mike showed to me, is new BST AXN figures. Right now, if you're looking at YouTube, we are looking at Casey and Krang. We've seen Krang before, to be honest, but there's also Slash and uh, April. Yes, in April. Like, I was about to say a new April, but I just realized that they never revealed. They never did April before.
No, so Best Action hasn't done uh, April just yet. And what's really noteworthy about this Casey is that this is that mask he's wearing is uh, based on the comics. So specifically like the
The
Image
Image comics, yeah.
TMNT comics. So like body count with Raph, and then that American mask is what he wears um, for the remainder of the Image Urban Legends TMNT run. So kind of crazy
Yeah,
that.
so I, yeah, I kind of didn't mention this. Like, this is our first like real Image action figure. Like, we've never had, no one has ever even attempted Image before, and I will say out of all the ones from Image, I think Casey's probably like the best one to do, because especially I was not a fan of Cyborg Donnie.
I mean, it was cool for the time.
Yeah, that was
Um,
90s, man. 90s
yeah.
extreme.
What's also very specific about this Krang is that this Krang the Bubble Walker is a different color. The Krang that's already out right now is a silver color. This is kind of like a dark, you know, kind of like a dark purpley color.
Okay. Okay, because that's where I
There
was
was a
like kind of unfamiliar with, was that I wasn't
mhm,
sure if this was the same Krang. I don't know if
mhm.
I know people have been showing pictures of the Krang that's been released. I personally haven't seen that Krang yet, but I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
this was the same or not, because I was like something looks different about it, but I couldn't put
There's
my.
a there's a new one. There's another picture that has um I stupid me, I didn't save the picture
Uh
when I sent it to you,
yeah.
but it has a description on Krang that like talks about what specifically is here, and I don't killing me that I don't know which one it is, or that I
Gotcha.
don't that I didn't save that picture.
Gotcha, gotcha. I mean, with this, like, was this actually a reveal from the loyal subjects, or because loyal subjects really doesn't reveal their stuff, and actually, uh,
Hmm.
a lot.
They do, but not like not like turtles or not like NECA does. They don't have
Yeah,
like big announcements. Things just kind of pop out like this.
yeah,
Um, and so like this is kind of just a generic white background with some renders on it.
yeah.
Um, that is how they do it.
Uh huh.
And so this specifically, uh, I think they were talking about like this is coming in May of
Uh huh.
this year supposedly. Um, and so I mean, I'm tentatively interested. I bought my first Best Action Turtles figure because I really wanted those turtles in disguise that have been popping up. I've only found Leo so far.
Uh huh.
Um, I think it's just the basic Leo, not even one of the chases that they put out. Because like
Gotcha.
that's what's crazy. Like all four turtles have chase variants, and
Right.
there's four chase or there's three chase variants and the one regular.
Right.
And so I've only ever seen one at my Target. I haven't found any others, and so I'm kind of annoyed because again, I don't typically buy turtles if I can't buy all four of them,
Right.
and so something compelled me to buy this one, and now I'm stuck without the other three.
It's actually
And
funny because.
I don't even care. Like I don't need four like I don't need the four chase figures.
Right.
I don't even care if one is the
What.
regular and the other three are chases or whatever. I don't care. I just want four of this wave.
Right. It's actually funny because not too long ago, I want to say last week, because Anna's been trying to find well, for a while it was Van Helsing Splinter, but she finally found it for me. Now it's just trying to find the giant turtles for me when she
Mm-hmm.
goes shopping. But uh, she actually found, I think, Mike and Leo from the street clothes set, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, hey, do you have these?" And I told her straight up, I told her, "Yeah, I'm not interested in those." And all the reason I'm not interested in with those is because the colors, they don't match the show. Like I mean, and I'm that like particular, about it. It's just
Okay,
yeah, like I
so
like it's just like
okay.
it's not the like I because I know a lot of people love to like just poo poo on uh, BST AXN and loyal subjects in general. I think like their quality is actually pretty like on par with the price that they sell it at. Uh, like I said, only
Yeah,
reason I'm not interested in them on those is because they don't match the colors that they were in the show. None of the variants, like there's like four different variants, and none of them actually match the actual color that they put on like in the show for like those two episodes that they wore that outfit in.
and yeah, and so like with the best action like line, like it doesn't bother me that much. And
Yeah.
um, so I did my digging, and so I found out what it is. Uh, so the Krang one has the caption "Vain Krangazoid."
Oh, when he
Uh,
turned into the Krang monster that I'm so afraid when Anna sees that episode, she's gonna change her opinion on Krang.
but I don't know if his bubble walk like because he doesn't use the bubble walker after he gets his suit, so I'm not sure.
Well,
And
uh, in the
so
Krangazoid
in the image,
episode, I mean, in the Krangazoid episode, he stays the same. I think he uses the bubble walker in the Krangazoid episode, but his clones, because they didn't lose their bodies, actually get their bodies back, and they get like the ugly bodies that like I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
those
6
lizard
years
bodies,
after
right?
they didn't think that they're gonna ever do this. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, what Krang looks like with his body, like I was like, you know what, I'm glad, I'm glad like the people at Dimension X took his body away.
mm. And so Jason right now, if you're watching it on YouTube, has got Slash and April on screen.
Yeah,
Um, so Slash glows in the dark,
I
and then
love that.
April, there's two Aprils. This color scheme on April is based on the old Playmates action figure,
Um,
and then there's a normal April color scheme without the orange patches. Um, and then up at the top so is the Casey, and there were two Caseys. One with I think the one on this page was the battle damaged Casey
uh-huh.
with the gray shirt,
Oh
and
yeah,
then there's
yeah.
one with a red shirt,
Okay.
and that's the normal one. And those are specifically called Casey Jones Urban Legends.
Nice. I will be honest. I will be getting this Casey Jones because I don't know when's the next time we're gonna get ever like Image uh, comics like figures. Even though I'm not, even though I didn't really grow up with it, I'm reading it
Mm-hmm.
now. But like I think that's a cool concept. I'm not saying like if NECA all of a sudden like announce like next week, oh hey, we're doing a whole line and they do all the turtles. That's like one I can like definitely skip. But like just like these one offs, like I'm down for that. I think it's pretty cool. I love the fact that Slash glows in dark. I like that he comes with that ray from uh, I believe that's I believe that's supposed to be the ray that makes him smart. I have to. It's been a while since I've seen his episodes. I mean, I know we literally did an
Mm-hmm.
episode on one of it not too long ago, but I'm like 90% that's from the cartoon. I just can't. I'm blanking on like which one is
Mm-hmm.
it. But
And
uh,
so
you go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so yeah, so these look cool.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for our last figures of the night.
Yes, yes. Well, before we get to the last figures of the night, I'm going to briefly talk about these because these are probably like ones uh, where both of us are probably not that excited for. And we got another Super 7 reaction figure listing without pictures. This we're getting a new Ninja Turtle wave, and they are the Toon Turtles. Uh, I mean, I'm kind of curious what these are going to look like, but at the same time, I mean, if I had to like guess, like right off the bat, I think these are going to be the same four turtles that we've seen them re-release like seven different other times, but this time it's just going to be that bright, shiny, uh, metallic-y green that the original Playmates figure had for the turtles.
See, I'm just like I've never been into the Toon Turtles, and I've never been into Reaction, so
So this is
this
like
just
this is just a double cutoff for you.
basically,
Yeah. Um, I'm more curious what the art on the card is going to look like. I'm wondering if the art is actually going to look like the cartoon or if it's going to be that that strange Super 7 drawing that they like to do. Uh, Now, me personally, I would love it if they actually incorporated the action features into these figures, because like to be honest, the action features they're not hard to make, and it goes into that style of like Star Wars action figures that were released back in the
yeah.
70s. I mean,
I
they
I
could
I
easily
get it.
implement.
Like I get it. Like I like these are based on like that Kenner 5 points of articulation, the five POA like
Yeah,
style. Like I get it, but this is not for me.
yeah.
I'm glad that I mean because it's a popular toy line. Like
Yeah.
there are dudes that buy like as much as people dunk on it. Like
There are
these
people a
sell.
lot. There's a lot of people who buy these reaction figures. I mean, you go to Target and you'll see that most of those reaction figures like sell out. I've only seen a couple that have gone on clearance at Target. One of them was a Target exclusive Transformer figure, which I mean, I can't. Me personally, I can't buy a Transformer figure that doesn't transform. I think that's like sacrilegious. I mean, but some people do for some reason. But I've seen that one go on clearance, and I can't think of another one. I off the top of my head, I can't think of another one that's gone on clearance for the reaction line.
Yeah, just not for me.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. But yeah, when we get images of this, and I'm curious if Super 7 will officially announce this or they will ignore it like they did their last wave, and then like all of a sudden like oh hey pre-orders are up now. But when we get images, we'll probably talk about it again. But let's talk about the one that Mike already like pre-ordered. He probably pre-ordered seven of these. We have the pre-order for these link for right now in the description, and that is the Mezco 112 Ninja Turtle line.
Yeah, whew, boy. So Mezco had teased these, I think, God, I think 2 years ago at this
Yes,
point for
yeah,
their
they
Mezco
had like
Toys
that one
fair.
like really like that like that paint image of like of a really
Well,
bad like green hand going through the sewer. I'm like, wait, I could have done
I mean,
that.
it was a cheeky thing. It wasn't meant to announce the
Right,
turtles. I mean, but it was definitely like a tease. But then, like 2 years of silence,
right,
and then late last year, um, we finally got the full reveal of the Mezco turtles, and we got a good look. We got a great look at them. We got like two images
yeah,
of them, and so we kind of like we're like, ah, dang. Um, so this is part of Mezco's 112 collective toy line, which is it's a very specific kind of designer style. 112 is 6-inch scale, um, and these all of these figures are kind of meant to, you put them all on the shelf and you can be like, that's the Mezco shelf. Like
right.
all of those figures are from Mezco. This is these turtles, so they're not based on any specific kind or era of Ninja Turtles. The closest they could possibly be would probably be Mirage with some of the proportions.
Yeah,
But they
it's
have
like a
colored
mix of like
bandanas.
Mirage and IDW. Like I would even go as far to say like I could see like some of these as like some of the cover art of some of the IDW comic uh Like
I
because like
mean,
the IDW.
a little bit, but like it doesn't match any specific artist from
No, no,
IDW.
no,
The
no, no,
color,
not a regular artist. I was saying like some of the
this,
cover artists, because I could see
well, I'm saying the cover artist too.
yeah, okay,
The skin tones don't match the IDW turtles at all.
right.
Um, and so like really the only thing I could see is like the extra pouches that the turtles are all wearing. But
Yeah,
even then, like
oh, that's why I was saying it was a cross because
Leo
of the
doesn't
pouches.
Leo doesn't wear the cross straps. Um, like and so this is kind of Mezco's own version
Yeah,
of the turtles, taking inspirations from wherever they want.
yeah, yeah.
But
To be honest, I like it when like action figure companies take like their own inspiration and kind of like do their own thing of it. Like and just like it really shows the creativity and the fact like they didn't try to go like too extreme with it, like where it's
mhm.
unique enough that when people see it, they still see turtles, but they don't like it's not like no one's gonna look at this and be like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, and I mean, and these aren't for everybody. Like
No.
these, kind of like what we were just talking about with the reaction figures. Like there are people who just very specifically collect these kinds of turtles. For me, like I like to collect very specific, looks for turtles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's primarily my action figure collection is turtles. Um, so having ones in a brand new style, by a brand new company is exciting, but also like at the same time, like I get it. Like there's a lot of companies doing turtles right now,
Yeah.
but there aren't a lot of turtles. There aren't a lot of like high year end companies doing higher end turtle figures like this.
Right.
And
So
so,
right now you can buy the whole set. It's for $400, basically $100 each for a turtle. I mean, and to be honest, that's like pretty much Mezco's price. Like, so I wasn't like that surprised. I know there was a lot of sticker shock for a lot of people, but I think for those people, they were not Mezco collectors. Now I can say this. This like not only this appeals to Ninja Turtle collectors, this also appeals to a lot of Mezco collectors because like for the people who collect like other Mezco figures, they now actually can put Ninja Turtles now into like their universe, as like Mike was saying,
mm,
like this scales with those figures.
well, they do and they don't.
Okay.
So when I said like these are 112 collective, like they're it's kind of hard to judge because they they're all in the same scale, but they don't necessarily scale to each other.
Oh, okay.
Um, so these are kind of listed as you know 6 inches and up, um, which is taller than most other turtles. Because like, if you wanted some 6 inch scale turtles, these are definitely going to be taller than your Marvel Legends from what the description says.
Right.
Um, and so it's going to be a tough fit. Now we haven't even gone over like all the stuff that's in this
Yes.
package.
Yes. No. No. No.
Each turtle comes with multiple hands. I think Donatello has multiple heads. Each turtle has 3 heads. Donatello has 8 hands. The other 3 turtles have 10 hands.
Uh huh.
You have multiple like weapon effects. This is the first Michelangelo figure with dual spinning nunchuck effects. Every
Yes.
other one was only ever had one.
Yes, yes. I
Um,
really want to mention that is because like I have bought multiple Michelangelos to have him have two spinning nunchucks.
mhm.
And like this one actually comes with two spinning nunchucks, which I'm really happy about. Right now, if you're looking at YouTube, I'm showing some of the soft good stuff because there's like a total of five soft good outfits. Like the one that's not on here, that's not on the screen, is the cloak. But like we got a trench coat. We got like like the hakama. I think that's a hakama. I mean, I took martial arts for like 3 years, so that to me that looks like one of those. And then like there's a brown cloak, and then there's also the a hoodie. Sorry.
Yeah, like the multiple cloth goods here. Um, each turtle comes with individual stands. Uh, they say so very specifically, they point out that all four turtles are individual sculpts. So
Oh,
this isn't the same body used four times like the Nendoroids.
right.
So like everything about this set is incredible, and it does come with a hefty price tag, especially because these are only available in the four set, the four pack, and so this whole thing comes to for $400. Um, yeah, like look at all this extra. Like you have the Shuko claw blades,
Yeah.
you have tonfas, you have push daggers, um, the Kyoketsu Shoge blades, which is the name for that hook dagger that always came with the vintage toys.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, there's one item on screen. It calls it like a wrist communicator, but it's very much the gravity gun
Yes. Yes. That's
from
100% the
from
gravity gun
Mirage.
from the Donatello micro. Yeah, micro series. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, and so yeah, and so it's just kind of like this is such a really good set.
Yeah.
And again, it's not for everybody. This is a very expensive set. Um, you kind of have to know what you're getting into with Mezco, because you Mezco figures do run $80 to $100 each.
Right.
Um, so this is right in line with that. It's not overpriced for what you're getting here. It does just sting that you have to buy all four at once. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
now,
because I know a few people that, especially for like buying Ninja Turtles, they kind of like for these higher end stuff, they try to buy like one at a time or something like that, just kind of like
mhm,
ease the wallet down. Yeah, this is like a one shot deal. At the same time, like I mean, for collectors, for serious collectors, they probably want to get all four right away anyway. But yeah, it is kind of like that. Ooh, that it hurts a lot. Right now, on screen, I put the heads up. One thing I want to note about the heads is that like there's no repeat head. Like each turtle has three different expressions, and none of them are like, oh, here's that smiling turtle, like or anything like that, and it really fits their character. One thing I was surprised, I will say, I was surprised that there was not a red bandana head for the other three turtles, just because like when I first saw these, I immediately I thought of comic, and I was thinking, I was like, oh, they probably want to put like they put them all with the red headbands, and surprisingly they didn't do that with this one. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just more of a I was kind of surprised about it.
yeah, and that's been a common thing from everybody. A lot of people were really just surprised that these seem to be very Mirage inspired, but there's no like very specific Mirage head to be included here.
Right.
Which I admit is also kind of jarring. Like you would kind of expect it in this set, but it to me it doesn't matter that much. Like because these aren't directly based on Mirage. I don't really mind that they don't have a Mirage head.
Right.
Um, so I mean, that said, like I pre-ordered these instantly. Like because like I've been waiting for something like this for a long time. And this set for me personally really delivers with everything that is coming with it.
Yeah.
Mezco is known for making very high quality toys in this scale. So I've been wanting a Mezco for a long time. Like I've almost dropped a couple. Like I wanted the Mezco Popeye that came out a couple years ago. I wanted the Mezco Space Ghost. I had the Mezco Bishop from X-Men in my cart for the longest time. Um, but as soon as these got revealed and then went up for pre-order the same day, um, I instantly pre-ordered them, and so these are going to be my first ones. There is a long time to wait for Mezco figures.
Yeah.
If you're in the toy collecting world, you know that Mezco figures you kind of buy, you pre-order it and you forget about it, and then it
Yeah.
shows up at your house one day.
Right, right, right,
Um,
right, exactly. I mean, if you thought Super 7 was long, like, wait till you get Mezco.
yeah, and so and some Mezco go up for pre-order and they ship immediately. Um, that's typically Mezco's own toy line, not their licensed stuff.
Right.
Um, if you in the toy community, you've heard about the Mezco '89 Batman and how that I think that just hit 2 years, 3 years that people have been
I
waiting
think
for
it's on
that
its third
figure.
year now.
Yeah, I think it was like within like a day or two ago,
Yeah.
it hit its third year. And so I'm not saying that the turtles are going to have that same issue, but I don't necessarily think that we'll be getting them in December like they said on the pre-order
Yeah.
page. So
Hey, it could be. I like a few other things I do want to mention is that obviously we have the pre-order link in our description. If you want to take the risk of like waiting for it to be in stock, if you order through Entertainment Earth and use our discount code, which is Turtle Recall, uh, for the promo code, you will get 10% off and free shipping. So if you want to wait until these are in stock, you could get $40 off of the price. But that's only if it doesn't like sell out and actually goes in stock on at Entertainment Earth. You could do that at your own risk. I mean, if you're really interested in it, I would recommend you just pre-ordering it just because that gives you the risk of it not selling out. I mean, usually with these high-end figures, it is kind of like a hit or miss, like if it actually stays in stock or not, because also most of these higher end stuff the the companies know that like high price figures don't sell as well, and so they don't order more. They try not to order more than they have to, just so they don't sit in the warehouse shelf.
yeah, and so these I don't think these are going to sell. I don't think, or I don't think these are going to sell out, but they're definitely not going to last forever.
No, no.
These are kind of buy it now or buy it never figures.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. Because I'm just saying, like, it probably like the pre-orders might not sell out, but like don't expect the online retailers to order more than they have to. More than likely, they're
mm,
probably going to order just enough, and like maybe have like a few leftovers, but but like it's not going to be like, oh, this is going to sit in the warehouse for like the next 3 years. It's probably not going to be like that.
yeah, and so another thing that comes up with Mezco figures a lot, and especially like dudes collecting turtles, is that uh, Mezco's most likely like 98%, 99%. This is where the line is going to end. They're not
Yeah.
going to do Shredder. They're not going to do
Oh yeah.
Krang.
No.
That's not Mezco's thing.
No. No.
Um,
No. No.
this is like these are designer turtles. These are very much just going to be the turtles, and that's it. Like that's the end of the toy line. They're
Yeah.
not going to do anything else. If they do, it would literally just be Shredder.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, from like other than the turtles, like really the only other character that pretty much sell like is a guarantee sell is Shredder. But like for Ninja Turtles, like the turtles are like the guarantee sell. So that's
Yeah,
why like these like companies are probably just gonna do the turtles. Like don't expect don't expect Krang. Like Krang is even though he's like a very popular villain, he's not he's not that well known for most casuals and like you know Roxanne and Bebop, they're also very two popular villains as well. It's just that like they probably cost more to tool them then they probably will get returns from it.
Yeah, and so I'm very excited for this set. I'm very much okay with the fact that these will probably be the only turtles that I get in this style.
Yeah.
And I just bought myself the Thousand Toys Hellboy figure that I've been wanting for years.
Oh, nice.
And so these are gonna go right next to him.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. I mean, I personally like these. I have not pre-ordered them yet, but like it's gonna be one of those that for me personally, I'm gonna see it. I'm actually gonna take the risk to see if it goes in stock or not, and then make my
Okay.
decision then. But that's also me knowing that there's a chance that I will miss these. So I'm trying not to get attached to them myself. But like it is, but like yeah, and also I want to make note if you pre-order through Entertainment Earth and even Big Bad Toy Store or most of those retailers, you don't pay up front. You actually you pay once they ship. So if that's like
Uh,
a worry of
so
yours,
so with Big Bad Toy Store, they do charge a $40 deposit.
oh okay,
Um, $40. I mean, that's taken out of your total. So that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
pay. I pre-ordered through Big Bad Toy Store. Um, Entertainment Earth, you can use codes for free shipping. Well, you can't use it because they're not in stock, so you can't use the free
no, no, you
shipping
can,
code.
you can.
You can? Oh,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
cool.
oh
So
yeah,
so you
yes,
can use
yes,
the
yes, yes. And if you guys want, I can give you a code that not only you get free shipping, you get a free Star Wars action figure.
so
You
there's
just can't
that.
use our personal code because the Turtle Recall code only works on in stock thing. So
That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah, I knew there was something. So there's that. There's other toy shops that are going to be collecting it or are going to be doing it. There's another pretty good one. Um, I can't remember the name, but they're charging 360, but you have to pay it all now,
uh-huh.
kind of thing. So
Yeah. I mean,
they're
which
they're basically they're basically putting up your $40 deposit, but you got to pay everything right now.
right, right,
Um,
right, right. And I to be honest, it is like kind of like one of those they don't want to take the risk like of of people like backing out.
Well, yeah, I mean these are very expensive figures, and so they are definitely not.
They're not going to want to sit on them.
They're they're not going to want to sit on them. I don't think anybody. I don't think, like you said, I don't think anybody's really going to be sitting on these for long if they do.
Right.
Um, but I mean, with a high ticket item like this, yeah, I don't blame them for charging a deposit. I
I don't blame
gladly
it.
paid it.
Yeah. No, I don't blame them either.
What got me was the taxes on it. Ooh.
Oh
So
gosh, I
so
did.
because
Yeah.
I live
You
in
know what? Now I'm thinking
yeah
about like my 10% off code is you're probably just basically gonna go back to $40 anyway after the
yeah
taxes.
my taxes out here in California. I think out the door, I think it came out to like 430.
Yeah. Your
So
sales
like
tax is like what, 12%? Oh, you guys have high sales tax.
I know in my county it's
Oh,
7.75.
7.7. Okay.
Um, but in LA County is 10%.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
10 or 12%. I know. Yeah.
Here in Atlanta, we have a measly 6%. Like
Must be nice.
yeah, exactly. That's why like whenever my sister in law like comes in town, she buys a bunch of stuff. It's just like she's like, no, you guys, like you don't understand. Your sales tax is so much cheaper than ours.
I used to do the same thing. Like when I lived in LA County, I would buy stuff in Orange County and then just come back. So, all right, Jason, is there anything else that we got in the news?
That is it. That is all we have for us. Thanks for everyone who joined in to tune into us for this week. Don't forget this Thursday we'll be releasing the full audio podcast, and Mike will be in there for the whole time as we talk about our favorite and least favorite things of 2022.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Till next time, guys.